Okay, question 2A is a source utility question. I produced a PowerPoint which was endless, the number of slides talking about what we should be doing. Now, there are 4 things you need to do, 5 actually. The first thing is ignore any comparison, all right? Deal with source A and then deal with source B afterwards. Do exactly the same for both of them. So the question is, how useful are they for an inquiry into problems the medical service faced transporting injured soldiers? So the first thing to do is identify something on both of those using a quotation that talks about problems in transporting injured soldiers, not what they're useful for, full stop. Make sure that you're using those words. The second thing to do is to think about how reliable a source is. This is where we use this nature, origin, purpose. So the type of source is relevant. You know, whether it's an eyewitness account or whether it's an official account, whether it's something that is intended for publication or whether it's a sort of private personal thing like a diary, will tell us how trustworthy a source is. So you've got to think about that. And obviously if it's a trustworthy source, then it is more useful. The third thing to do is to be using own knowledge. Think about whether this is accurate, whether the source itself is accurate according to your own knowledge. And the knowledge that you're using has got to have that element of detail that we're talking about. So we're looking at things like places, dates, names, events, those kind of things. If he's talking about a particular battle, think about some of the features of that battle. And then the fifth, is to think about this use of adverb. Think of it in terms of some kind of continuum. If it's incredibly useful, then clearly it tells us a lot. It's very accurate, very reliable. If it's less useful, then it would be possibly, not necessarily a totally reliable source or not necessarily accurate or missing some evidence. The important thing is keep it positive. Assume that all sources are useful. Don't go into some sort of conspiracy way of thinking, or it could be made, ignore those sorts of things. You haven't got enough time. You've only got about 6 minutes for each of the source to read it, to understand it, and to answer it. Okay, so have a go, and then let me know. We'll go on to question 3B now.